a little series called Dragon Ball. Originally written in 1984 by Akira Toriyama, this franchise has quickly grown to be probably the most influential Japanese anime to date, popularizing it all across the world and bringing us the glorious gold that is Japanese culture. Today we're going to take a deep dive into some of the life lessons that Dragon Ball has to offer us, and hopefully we'll come out a little bit more Saiyan-like. Welcome back to another Life Lessons from Fiction. If you have any pieces of fiction or fandoms that you're interested in me deep diving into, let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to hit subscribe. We're going to be deep diving into Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super. We'll be taking a look into some of the themes and character development that has happened throughout the series and see what kind of life lessons we can learn from them. In total, I've compiled for you a list of 10 things that Dragon Ball has to offer you in your life. So the first life lesson comes from our main character Goku, who doesn't always take life too seriously. Even amidst some of the most dire situations, Goku can be seen having fun and enjoying himself. A sentiment like this really helps and hits home in a time like this. Taking time to sniff the roses and enjoy the little things in life is part of what makes life so great. So if you catch yourself in a slump or too stressed out about life's woes, consider taking a little bit of time off and just enjoying the natural flow of things. So the second life lesson today is to enjoy the journey, however long it may be. Over the course of the Dragon Ball series, you see Goku and his friends grow up, starting from infancy to becoming a full-blown grandfather. And at no point in the series does Goku stop enjoying training. The entire time, he focuses on improving himself instead of zeroing in on some end goal. And because of that, he stays happy. He devotes his time to what he loves, and the pursuit of happiness is the pursuit of his goals. Just constant small improvements. Remembering to enjoy the process is really important when we're taking on huge life tasks, and it's something that Goku does very well. Now this next point might be a little bit controversial, and that comes from the theme of love in the Dragon Ball series. While Goku is no ideal father figure, he does display a very important lesson, and that is that love should not be your only focus. Both Goku and Vegeta start families throughout the series, and over time you find that takes up part of the show. However, at no point do they stop remembering what their goals and dreams are. They take the time to devote themselves to family, but they also have their own aspirations to continue. And it reminds us that life is about a balance, and you should never throw all of yourself into just one thing. The fourth thing that we're going to take away as a life lesson is the importance of rivals. Now over the years, Dragon Ball has showcased Goku having many rivals to pit himself against. From Krillin to Piccolo to Vegeta, you've seen him grow and develop over the years by pushing himself and pitting himself against his allies, slowly growing and training and fighting to be the best that he possibly can be. Community in all things helps people push and develop themselves further. Having rivals that you're always putting yourself against and learning from will really help you grow as a person. Now, if you've noticed, most of Goku's rivals at one point were in fact enemies, and something to highlight here is that the Z fighters are really good at burying the hatchet. Now, while former enemies do not need to become your best friends, it is important for you to be able to grow and move on from the past. People continue to grow and learn throughout their lives, and holding grudges is only going to hold you back. If people don't learn, then you shouldn't bother with them anymore. And if they have grown to become someone new, then extend the olive branch and move forward. Now, in the Dragon Ball franchise, you've seen some of your favorite heroes go through the most insane trials and save the world time and time again. However, at no point did they stop and hesitate to seek new mentorship. If you reflect on all the great sages that have taught Goku a thing or two, you'll notice that it was never about Goku's status, it was never about how strong he got, it was about being open to new opportunities and lessons. By the time we get to the midpoint in Dragon Ball Z, Goku is already stronger than most of his teachers. However, he continues to accept their wisdom and find ways to apply it in his own training. Remember that there's only so much that you can experience, and if others are offering you wisdom, you should never turn it down. Alright, so number 6 is leading by example. And it might sound like a bit of a stretch, but hear me out. At no point does Goku ever want to become the leader figure. He simply wants to live his life. However, because he continues to be the best version of himself that he can be, more often than not when the situation is dire, he is thrust into the leadership role. And the takeaway here is that if you want to be admirable or in charge, you should be pushing for what you want to be in charge of. By being the best that you could absolutely be, people will take up and follow that. In fact, Krillin resumed training after years of stopping, after admiring how much willpower and dedication Goku puts into his everyday life. Fortunately, the same can't be said for Yamcha. So the 8th life lesson from Dragon Ball is to be your authentic self. Authenticity is a major theme amongst most of the Dragon Ball protagonists, where you'll see that they're very transparent with their motivations and aspirations in life.
The truth is, I ain't no hero of justice or anything else like that. But anyone who tries to hurt my friends is gonna pay!
You can always see this reflected in how they live, and very few times across the entire plot will you see the main cast become deceitful or try to change who they are. The only real person that has this struggle is Gohan. And towards the end of his character development arc, you see that Gohan becomes comfortable with the person he is and the person that he wants to be, realizing that he doesn't need to step in anyone's shoes but his own. Along the same lines in the Dragon Ball series, there are a lot of adversaries who have opposing ideologies. Some of them just have different values, and others are a little bit malicious. But to most of those that display exactly who they are and the things that they want, you'll find a sense of camaraderie between Goku and his adversaries, where he accepts them for who they are and is not afraid to respect them for staying true to themselves. You'll find that this is very evident when you look at fights with Tao Pei Pei, Boo, and Broly. While there might be a power struggle and opposing ideologies, most of the time you'll find there's a level of respect between the adversaries. The 10th and final lesson today is that power doesn't have to be corrupting. In the Dragon Ball universe, we have been shown that there are exceedingly large amounts of power gaps, and as they get larger and larger, we've always seen people on both sides of the spectrum, those that are both good and evil. Now, while raw power itself is a very intoxicating resource, some of our favorite heroes have shown that you can become the most powerful being you could possibly be and hold true to your values. Goku is the perfect example of this, where he is never really tempted to become a malicious force. He's just interested in being the best he could possibly be, and excited by new challenges. And if only we looked at everything in life that way, we would probably be a little bit more Saiyan-like. Dragon Ball has been such an influential series to most of us growing up, and I think it's worth noting that there are some real takeaways from it, even though it is a shonen series. Anyways, that's everything for me. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I really do appreciate it. We just hit over 100 subscribers, and I am super hyped. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time.